This does not look like your home. Where the hey are you?
It's not. I'm actually in Austin, Texas, out here wearing cowboy boots,
No.
eating barbecue, and enjoying the sun.
So I was looking on some search websites, and one question that came up that I feel like very elementary to some people in real estate, but it's something that a lot of people wonder about is what is commercial real estate?
Well, that's a very good question, Elise, because I myself did not know what commercial real estate was for a second, because I had a few questions like, is a multifamily property commercial real estate? And is that the same thing as a building that's zoned for a business to occupy? So I think that the best complete answer is any type of real estate that is zoned where a business could occupy it would be commercial real estate. If you talk to a commercial real estate broker, they're typically going to find businesses to occupy storefronts or office space. And those types of brokers, they're not going to deal with multifamily. So that kind of clears up any questions about that. And commercial brokers, whenever it comes to leasing commercial real estate, it is wildly different than residential real estate. And also the way that you value the property is quite a bit different too. What's really interesting about a commercial broker is commercial real estate will be unoccupied for quite a while. Typically, I mean, that's not good, but it's common because those leases are also quite a bit longer and quite a bit higher dollar. So it's okay to have a bit more vacancy. And typically, whenever if you go to a store, usually that store is not actually owning the building. You know, if it's a storefront, they're typically renting space in that building. But you might notice like the outside may look very, very unique to incorporate not only their sign, but like it might have like a whole facade. Like you ever been to Restoration Hardware in a mall? That store, I mean, they don't own that building. They actually rent it and they have control over like what the outside of that particular part of the building looks like. And they all design them to look the same. So when you're doing a lease or when Restoration Hardware is doing a lease with Simon Properties, for example, in the lease, they'll write like, hey, we will do all this construction. We will make the inside look the way it is. And Restoration Hardware likely pays for that on their own dollar, in addition to the money that they are actually spending to lease that. So if you move into a house, for example, like very, very rarely does the resident of the house get to change what the property looks like, you know? So those are two differences there. And then the leases for commercial are usually way longer because they've made the initial investment to like make the property look the way it does. Also, the commercial broker will usually take like a big fee. Like it could be like they get the first year of a 10-year lease and all of the first year goes straight to the broker because those leases are so high dollar, they're so hard to find. The commercial brokers can make quite a bit doing that business.
So why would someone want to go into commercial real estate then? Like say they're, you know, because we get, at least at DealMachine, we get asked about, hey, do you guys have commercial property info? Which we do.
Right.
For all those who are watching. But like, why would you want to? Why do people go into it?
You know, that's a really good question. The one thing I was going to say is the way commercial real estate is valued is way different from residential.
So that's it. Yeah.
Yeah. Single family homes, you are looking at comps. Everybody talks about comps. You're always going to look at comps. Commercial real estate is not based on comps necessarily. You're actually going to be basing it on how much income it's been producing. So if you're buying a commercial property, what you do is you look at the pro forma, which would say like, hey, these are the rents. This is what the tenant's been paying. This is how long it's been occupied. And I'm going to generate a capitalization rate from that. And then when comps come into play with commercial real estate, it's just the cap rate. So you're like, hey, the cap rate in downtown Austin is 8%. So if I've got a property that I want to buy that's been producing, you know, 100,000 a year in rent, you would actually value the property using the cap rate for the area rather than just like looking at other buildings and their square footage to generate comps. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah. I'm really glad you went into that because that was the other thing. You're right. What is the difference? So back to mine. Why would you?
Why would you?
Why would you? Why would you?
Yeah. I mean, there's so many different ways to invest in real estate. I think a huge reason about why just ends up being passion. What are you passionate about? What are you interested in? And what do you have fun doing? Because that actually just makes you a little bit more curious and helps you have more fun and can help you find better deals just because you're naturally really interested in that. Because you can make money in single family. You can definitely make money in commercial. You might say that you could make even more money in commercial just because the dollar amount for a lot of those types of places are so much higher. But then of course you've got to find the capital, but it could even be easier to find capital for commercial property using like SBA loans, for example. If you're going to buy a building that you occupy, I think they give you like a really low interest rate for like 10% down. That is not against your personal credit, but it is against your business and your business's income, your business's credit. I think, again, it just comes to passion, and it comes to if you are really interested in that or have the means to finance a commercial property, maybe you want to like leverage up a little bit more and have like a smaller piece of a bigger pie. Hey, you right there. I want to answer some more of your real estate questions. So please put them in the comments below. I'm going to film video answers. I'll also jump in the chat. I want to answer your real estate questions. Let's hear them.